10 days from now, the Eagle Square in Abuja and other prominent venues in 28 states will be busy, witnessing the swearing-in of the president and governors-elect. But beyond the ceremony lies the challenge of governance. What are some of the areas that need urgent attention? Issues of gender inclusion and persons with disability, political patronage in the formation of the government, and of course, cordial working relationship among the three arms of the government is essential. A 7th member in the House of Representatives and a senator-elect is my guest on today's edition of Political Update. So sit back as we x-ray the challenges ahead of the Tinubu presidency. My name is Mie Okedi. Welcome. Representative Femi Gbajabiamila has expressed his support for the APC nominees Abbas Tajuddin and Benjamin Kalu for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 10th House. At a meeting with members-elect of the 10th National Assembly, Gbajabiamila says his decision was in line with his belief in party supremacy.
At this meeting convened by the group known as the Joint Task, comprising members-elect from across 8 political parties for the 10th Assembly, Gbajabiamila went down memory lane to highlight the consequence of not abiding by the choice of the ruling party in relation to the nomination of presiding officers for the 2 chambers of the National Assembly. He added,
Tajuddin Abbas, he quietly makes his impact. I want you to trust me. I want you to trust my judgment. I want you to take that leap of faith. For somebody who loves the institution, I can never lead you astray.
Others at the meeting include APC Senate President nominee Godswill Akpabio and House Leader Alhassan Adodogwa.
May you conduct your affairs mindful of respecting the 3 Gs, particularly respect the government.
Today, I am the Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, courtesy of the National Working Committee of my party. Courtesy demands that it's only fair. I also stand by the position of the National Working Committee and the leaders of my party.
The speakership nominee and deputy canvassed support of their colleagues, promising fair and efficient leadership.
I will try as much as possible to sustain the modest achievements the 9th Assembly has recorded.
Joint Task is raising a call today and saying, come, let us work together as Parliament to give to Nigeria what is the best.
The Joint Task Group urged synergy amongst all political parties for a purposeful 10th Assembly.
So joining me in the studio to discuss the May 29 inauguration of the president. Today is 19th of May. That means we have exactly 10 days to this auspicious ceremony that will usher in a new administration in the country. And of course, the issue of leadership, who should be the Speaker and the Senate President, still a debatable issue in the country. Joining me in the studio is a 7th member in the House of Representatives, the Chief Whip in the House of Representatives. Now, I may say he's been promoted by his people to be a senator, so he's a senator-elect. Join me to welcome Mohammed Tairu Munguno. Welcome to Political Update.
It's my pleasure meeting you.
Yes, 10 days from now, we're going to the Eagle Square, as it were, for the inauguration of the president-elect, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And the issue of national unity is quite critical. Elections have come and gone. It's time for healing, as it were, and the unity of the country is above any other personal interest. What is your take as we count down to this inauguration come May 29?
Well, in a country as heterogeneous as Nigeria, with various diverse and contending interests, you cannot divorce it from various conflict of interest. But the good thing is that there is a need for us to translate our heterogeneity into strength and give it muscular expression with a view to achieving the much needed unity and socio-economic development of our country. The divisions that you earlier on alluded to, well, election is not an invitation to a tea party. In electoral contestations, there are bound to be differences and conflict of interest. But the good thing is that at the end of the day, those that lost the election should be gallant in defeat, and those that won the election should be magnanimous in victory. The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already extended an olive branch and called upon the opposition to come and join hands with a view to moving the Nigerian project forward in the overall interest of the country, since the elections is now over. So the President-elect has already, as a nationalist, as somebody who is a pan-Nigerian and got a pan-Nigerian mandate, has already started taking the desirous steps of unifying this country with a view to delivering the much needed dividends of democracy to the doorsteps of the Nigerian
What are some
people.
of those steps he has taken so far? Because you are a ranking member in the National Assembly, so when you say the president has already taken some steps, maybe some members of the public are not privy to those steps. So can you please tell us some of the steps he has taken already in terms of bringing the diverse people of the country together?
Well, the step that he has so far taken, he has already, immediately his victory was announced, he has extended an olive branch to all members of the opposition and those who lost the election to come together and work with him in the interests of the country, because the Nigerian project is supposed to be driven by all and sundry, and also he has promised to preside over an all-inclusive government that will take all the contending interests of the Nigerian nation state along with a view to unifying the country. And I know that he is going to translate it into a concrete reality by the time he assumes the mantle of leadership in this country.
Okay, in terms of when there is no way you will be in this studio talking to Nigerians without tapping from your wealth of experience and knowledge in as far as the National Assembly in Nigeria is concerned, because you have been a member in the House of Reps, still serving one in several times, and now probably based on track record, your people decided to give you promotion as it were to be a senator. So you are literally a library when we talk of the National Assembly. But permit me to say that all is not well within the members of the National Assembly in terms of leadership. Let's even narrow it down to your party, APC. The issue of zoning within to get the Speaker and the Senate President, Deputy, and that of the Deputy Speaker is still an issue that I think your party is trying to address. And just before you came in, we played a report where the Speaker, the 7th Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, said he believes in the party supremacy. That literally means he believes, he accepts the zoning arrangement taken by the President and that of the party leadership. Are you also comfortable with this arrangement, that Akpabio should be the Senate President and Tajuddin Abbas should be the Speaker of the House of Reps?
As you rightly observed, this is my 5th term in the House of Representatives. By the time I am sworn in on the 13th of June, it will be my 6th term in the National Assembly as a whole. So we have in the past gone through this political trajectory of the contest for leadership of the National Assembly. As a party man, because I'm of the APC extraction, as a party man, I believe in the supremacy of the party. It is through the manifesto and the laudable programs of the party that were voted into power. And because of the fact that Nigeria, as I earlier on said, is a heterogeneous society, there is a need for the party to step in with a view to carrying along all the contending interests in the Nigerian nation state. For example, in my party, the president came from the southwest, the vice president came from the northeast, and more particularly from my state. There is the need for the party to step in to guide members of the National Assembly so that at the end of the day, the government that is going to be formed, both at the executive and at the legislative level, will be an all-inclusive government that has taken into consideration all the contending interests within the Nigerian nation state, so that all interests will have a sense of belonging. So that is why the party came out with a zoning formula with a view to guiding members of the party who are in majority, and in this case the APC, for the purpose of choosing the leadership of the National Assembly. And as a party man, a party loyalist to the core, I am comfortable with that arrangement, and I've already pitched my tent with the Akfabio Borough ticket in consonance with the zoning arrangement that was brought out by the party. So it's purely a guidance that is given to members, particularly of the APC, towards the emergence of the leadership of the National Assembly. But we are in a democratic dispensation. Anybody who feels strongly against this arrangement is free to come out and then contest the decision of the party. We are in a democratic dispensation. For example, in 2015, the party came out with a similar arrangement. I happened to be an active participant because I contested as deputy speaker with Femi Gbajabiamila, who contested as speaker then, but we lost with a very narrow margin. So because at that period of time, some people decided not to toy the party line and decided to contest, and this is democracy. So even in the present dispensation or in the present arrangement, this is purely a guidance that is given by the party. And anybody that feels strongly against such an arrangement is free to come out and contest, because we are not running a dictatorship, we are running a democratic
And I think
system of
that really
government.
brings me in.
Yes.
Some of the aspirants, for instance, Kalu and that of Yari, in several fora, they have expressed their unsatisfaction as a result of micro-zoning the position to individuals instead of probably political zones. And you just made reference to when Femi Gbajabiamila was made the speaker. Except my memory can't serve me right, I don't think it was micro-zoned to him, but people contested. Are you comfortable that the party came out and mentioned names that so individuals should take the position?
Well, for example, I don't think the party went to the extent of micro-zoning to individuals. What happened was that the party zoned those offices to particular geopolitical zones in the country. And then it is in these zones that the membership of these zones thought it fit that a particular person is much more qualified to assume that position. The party has not gone in any way to micro-zone these positions to individuals. Rather, it was zoned to particular zones, and for the zones to produce the occupants of that office. For example, the Senate presidency, it was zoned to the South-South. And based on the rules of the Senate, it is only a ranking senator that can assume that position. And Senator Akpabio is the only ranking senator from that zone to assume that position. So it was never, I'm just giving you as an example what happened in the emergence of the zoning in the Senate side. So it was never micro-zone to particular individuals.
Okay, well, let's just stay away from the leadership, because when you go to the Constitution, they describe the National Assembly as we, the members of Nigeria. You people, once you get to the National Assembly, are no longer a member of a political party. You become a representative of the people.
Of the whole country, yes.
Probably when you guys get to the National Assembly, either the Senate or Reps, politics is pervasive everywhere. The calculation from a party may not even be a cast in stone, but we leave that for the members, because you are the 360 wise men, just as we have the 109 wise men. So, as a member, rightly said, you have been in the House of Reps for 5 tenures, and now going to the Senate for another tenure. That makes it about 6 tenure, and we'll still be counting probably. So, what are some of the issues you think the incoming administration, at the federal level especially, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should give a critical look at in terms of governance in the country? If you were in his shoes, and you may have the opportunity to sit with him and he say, okay, Honorable, please advise me, what should we do first? A myriad of challenges we have in this country. What are those issues you think Bola Tinubu should look at?
The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a product of a political party, and that political party is APC. The APC has manifesto and has programs which went out to all the nooks and crannies of this country, canvassed for votes under the platform of these programs. And Nigerians, in their wisdom, decided to buy in to these lofty objectives and programs and voted in the APC at the federal level. And these programs are there for everybody to see. And the President-elect, as a party man, will adhere strictly to the programs that is initiated in our manifesto. And these programs are: 1, economic revival. The number one thing is economic revival. That is to revive the economy, bring in much needed foreign exchange, diversify the economy away from oil to agriculture and the mineral resources subsector, which has the potential of creating employment to our teeming unemployed youth and bring in the much needed foreign exchange, which will have the multiplier effect of not only conserving our limited resources, but also deploying them for our much needed infrastructure needs. So, revival of the economy is key to the incoming administration. Then, when you talk about revival of the economy, the power sector, there is no way you will revive an economy without having a very resilient and good power sector that will provide the necessary power to drive the industries, because that will have the effect of reducing cost of production and making Nigerian goods much more competitive across the globe. So revival of the power sector is sine qua non to the revival of the economy. This is 1. Then 2, issue of security. The primacy of governance is that of security. And even the Constitution has clearly and unambiguously provided that the primary purpose of government is to provide for the security and welfare of the citizenry. That is the primary purpose of government. So any government that fails and or neglects to provide security to the people, that government has breached or lost the social contract that it has with the people. So the issue of security will definitely have a place of prominence in the incoming administration to nip this issue of banditry that is happening in the Northwest, that is happening in the Northwest. Well, the issue of Boko Haram, kudos to the Buhari administration, where it has succeeded in bringing down tremendously the threat that is posed by Boko Haram in the northeastern part of the country. Before the advent of the Buhari administration, even in the wildest of my dreams, I cannot think of going to my constituency or to my hometown of Monguno. But today, I can go to Monguno and sleep with my 2 eyes closed. So the Buhari administration deserves a pat on the back for bringing to its needs the monster of Boko Haram that has threatened the corporate existence of this country. But that notwithstanding, there still more needs to be done on the issue of security so that Nigerians can sleep with their 2 eyes closed, can go about doing their businesses, and Nigerians can also go to farm. So the issue of security will have a place of prominence. And then the issue of corruption. Buhari administration has really also tried on the issue of nipping in the bud the issue of the monster of corruption. Because corruption has eaten so deep into our skin like a cancer worm that there is a need for us to take deliberate steps to nip in the bud issue of corruption. Because so long as corruption exists, so long it will continue to constitute a cog in the wheel of our developmental aspirations.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
You're
Probably
welcome.
your next coming on political update will be addressing you as a distinguished, I no longer a member, because a matter of few days from now, probably in the next 23 days, we'll be sworn in as a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We must say congratulations, and that is the much we can take. And indeed, we think the incoming administration has a lot to carry on from the outgoing administration in terms of building on the success. It's already recorded, as you rightly said, corruption, insecurity, economic revival, and all of that. I think all these are captured in the renewed Hope Agenda document. That is the much we can take on political update. My name is Mie Ogidi, wishing you a fabulous Friday, and enjoy the weekend, and don't get out of character. Thanks for being with us.